Hello and welcome. My name is Wendy, and we're going to be doing a little work with some oracle cards and possibly some tarot cards today. So let's see what we've got here. I'm using the Elemental Goddess Oracle to start. By the way, I have already blessed and shuffled the cards. And the first card we have is Focused. And for me, focused is being focused on what's most important to you. Everyone's got crazy lives and you've got a million things going on. You've got kids, you've got family, but you also need to remember to focus on yourself. That's really important here. And I just feel like somebody needed to hear that. Faithful. Being faithful has a lot of different connotations to different people. Faithful, I'm seeing this in terms of being faithful to your beliefs. If you believe something and you're not willing to stand on those beliefs, then it must not have been that important to you to begin with. So stay focused, stay faithful to yourself. Take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. Because if you are not around, you can't help the people that you love. And we also have balance. Balance is kind of goes along with the theme that we started with. You need to have a balanced work and home life. You need to have a balanced temper. For anyone who has come in contact with me, I used to not have much of a temper, and I had some situations in my life show up, and it taught me the importance of balance. So, balance your emotions, balance your work-home life, balance in terms of prioritizing. Whatever it is that you prioritize, we need to keep that at your forefront. Right now we're showing regret. I believe that there's somebody out there who may be feeling regret for maybe the way that they treated you, the way that they came across. Perhaps it wasn't the way they intended, but it was the way in which it was accepted or taken. Be careful when you talk to people. You don't ever want to regret. You don't want to cause somebody pain. You don't want to cause somebody harm. You just want to make sure that you have no regrets. Now, we're all going to have them. That just kind of goes without saying. We cannot go through this life without regret. Ooh, we're jumping. Security. Always, as they say in the airplanes, secure your mask first. Security. You need to secure yourself first. If like I said, if you cannot find balance in yourself and take care of yourself first, you can't pour from an empty cup. So the way I'm looking at this is there will be a time where your security, whether that's physical, mental, financial, is going to have to be your top priority. I'm not getting anything on a negative level on this, but focus on your security. If something feels off, chances are it probably is. Please excuse my screamer at the door. That's Cooper. He does not like closed doors. Okay, and our last card from this deck. Obsessive. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been known to be a little OCD, and I have sometimes obsessed myself into a corner. And obsessing about anything really doesn't change it until you change the way you perceive it. So being obsessive about whether it's finances, relationships, your kids' grades, being an obsessive type or having obsessive tendencies, the only one you're hurting is you. You're not hurting anyone else. The only one you're hurting is you. Just one moment, please. Sorry, I'm back. I apologize, but I think in my quick movement to make Cooper be quiet, I bumped the camera, so it may look a little different. Anyway, back to what we were talking about, obsessive. Being a Virgo, I used to be, I'll say that in all honesty, I used to be very obsessive. I was obsessive about everything. If it wasn't perfect, I didn't want to do it. I would think and rethink and overthink until I thought myself and talked myself completely out of it. So, be careful of being obsessive about anything. The things that you can't change, just accept them. That is who they are. That is what it is. And just come to a place of acceptance, because honestly, that's the only way that you will find peace. And that's all we're looking for, is to get through this life in peace, in one piece, in trying to just maintain order in our lives and feel like you have some semblance of control. Because to be quite honest, you really don't have control. You are not in control. I don't know why everybody, and like I said, I'm a Virgo, and it's all about control with a Virgo. So, I'm going to pull some Kipper cards. I'm fairly new. This is a new deck, so I'm not as familiar with the Kipper cards. Let's see. Let's see what we've got here. Message. So, somebody will be either sending or receiving a message. This could be financial, it could be love related, it could be friendship related. I don't feel like there's anything negative in this coming message. And yes, we are in Mercury retrograde and communication can be off. So whatever you do, if you receive a message and it feels kind of like it has a negative connotation to it, just kind of brew on it, sit on it for a little bit. Don't respond to it in haste, because because of Mercury retrograde, you may be feeling it a different way than it was actually intended. So our next card, change. Well, they go together, 7 and 9. Change. Don't be afraid to change. Everything changes. I like I said, as a Virgo, I kind of like a routine. I like to know how things are going to be. I'm a planner, and sometimes change is good. Don't be afraid of the changes. Let the changes happen. It's all, I know you hate this little saying that I'm about to say, but it's all in divine timing. And yes, things change. Nothing stays the same. And please don't beat yourself up if the change that's happening in your life you don't like. Pathway. What I'm getting here is, before you go ahead and you take a certain pathway, make sure that you balance the pros and the cons on that pathway. Don't just run full force at what you think you need or what people are telling you need. Personally, I used to rely a lot more on other people's opinions than my own. And I've had these gifts since I could remember, but I always seemed to seek approval before I made a step in a certain direction. So with that being said, I believe the pathways will open in due time. Divine timing, I know, I hate it too. Anyway, go ahead and make those changes. Go ahead and do what feels right, whatever you feel in your gut. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see, we've got Great Fortune. I love this card. It depicts not only great fortune in money, but great fortune in love, great fortune in relationships. There's a lot more to great fortune than just financial abundance. There's great fortune in your heart, in the way you love people, the way you show love, the way you show up for people. That is great fortune in and of itself. And what I'm thinking here, or what I'm seeing here, I should say, is that great fortune comes in many forms. And if you can be the great fortune to someone, don't get stuck in your head about, well, they said and they did. Always be graceful. Always be kind. I think there was a song. That's a Tim McGraw song. Despair. Now, what I'm seeing here, this gentleman, he's got his dog, and he just looks like he's been beat the hell up. Bad things are going to happen. It's a part of life. And it's how we react and respond to these energies that come our way. These are, think of it as more of a test. You know, this is the Most High. This is the divine. This is the universe testing me. And yes, the Most High and your spirit guides and your angels and your ancestors, they're going to kick your butt from time to time and make sure you get your butt back in line. But it's temporary. Please remember, the despair is temporary. Ooh, privileged lady. I love this card. It reminds me of the old Southern Belle. That's beautiful, the hoop skirts, and it reminds me of simpler times. The way I'm seeing this one is you need to just be happy. Whatever you have, being alive, being on this floating rock in space, is a privilege. Our lives are a privilege. You will learn many lessons, but make sure that you're living in the moment and you're not just going through the motions, because this privilege, the way I'm seeing it with these other cards, this privilege can be taken from you at any time. We've all lost people that we never thought we'd lose, whether we have a falling out, whether they pass on. This privileged lady is showing grace and beauty and dignity. And for me, the cards we have on the table currently represent not giving up. There is a light at the end of that tunnel. We're going to move on. I'm going to pull some tarot. I'm going to get my old trusty deck here. Actually, I've had this deck since I was about 18. That's a long time. My sister purchased this deck because of the illustrations. I don't even have the box or the book. I couldn't tell you what it was called. But my sister purchased this deck when I was 18. And she and my mother and I sat down, and she pulled out the little book, and she did a certain formation. And I was like, no, that's not what these are saying. And I started moving cards around the table, and it got quiet. So I looked up, and both my mother and my sister had their mouths wide open. And my sister looked at me and said, I think these cards belong to you. So this was actually my first tarot deck. And like I said, the illustrations are beautiful. And the way these cards come across to me is, and I know this is going to sound bizarre, but the photos when I'm reading for somebody, certain photos will animate. I will see movement in the card. And that is how I know that is the card that is for that particular energy. Being a collective reading, we're going to find out. We're going to see how this works. I know this is not a personal read, but hopefully it will be a personal read for a few people out there. So let's go ahead and do this. Just one moment. Okay, sorry about that. We're taking a chance with Cooper. We're gonna see how he does. I might have to pause and kick him out, but we'll see. He does not like closed doors. He does not like being told no. I know, baby. I know. All right, let's see what we've got here. Ooh, Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is depicted by a heart with three swords through it. And what looks behind it is clouds with drops of rain. I see these as tears from heaven. Three of Swords, it can mean a lot of things. It could tie into the betrayal card. But honestly, the Three of Swords can be, I know you won't believe me, but the Three of Swords can be sort of a purging. It's not always, well, it is always painful, but it can be kind of like a purging card. Strength. After the Three of Swords comes strength. So we have the infinity symbol above the woman's head. She is petting this great big kitty that I wish I had that I could pet. You will find the interpersonal strength. We have the Five of Rods, also the Five of Wands. There may be some of you out there that are going through a particular battle, maybe with family, maybe with friends, loved ones, relationships. But please, it's going to pass. The Five of Rods is not, it's not like they're carrying swords. It's wands, it's rods. So basically, it will pass. I don't see this as a lingering energy. It may be something you're going through right now, but this too shall pass. Oh, the Lovers. No, excuse me, I'm sorry. The Two of Cups. I always see this as my Lovers card as well, because for this, the Two of Cards for me depicts a true heart space love, where it is true, it is divine, and it is mutual. Some of you have new love coming. Some of you may have past love. I know we don't like to hear that. We may have past loves coming back. Like I said, Mercury retrograde, she's a bitch. But there is someone who has true love for you, that is tired of fighting, who's finding the strength and wants to overcome the limitations, wants to overcome the despair, the sadness. They want to overcome the issues and move forward in peace. The Sun, that's a beautiful card. With the Seven of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles, nice. Very nurturing, very loving, very giving. Followed by the Queen of Cups. So the way I'm reading these cards currently is you need to focus on your money. If you are a single woman, you need to, well, I can't say woman or man. You just may have, you might just be in your feminine energy. But the focus of Cups is emotions. Pentacles usually is earthly possessions like money and finance. Focus on what you can control. Don't focus on the things that you can't. The Sun, you know, one of my favorite movies of all time is Gone with the Wind. And the last line Scarlett O'Hara says is, "I won't think about that today. I'll think about that tomorrow. Because after all, tomorrow is another day." There's also, I'm getting a channeled song from the movie Annie, musical Annie. "The sun will come out tomorrow." Have faith. Keep going. Keep striving. Keep shining. You're going to get through this. But make sure you are conscious of where you are putting your energy. And we have the Page of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, the Hierophant, and Justice. Okay, what I'm getting here is, it looks to me like some of you may have been in a third party, or just found out that you were a third party, or have been in a third party situation. Justice shows me that it's gonna work out the way it's supposed to. I'm not showing anything on a negative. You needed to know. You needed to find out. You needed to understand that this was more about them than it was you. The Page of Pentacles is also a younger person, or a less emotionally mature person. I'm not talking about intellect, I'm talking about emotional maturity. There are a lot of people who are older in years, but their emotional maturity is lacking. Unfortunately, there are some people, I think I said this to a friend before, there are some people that never get out of that mean girl high school era. Just is what it is. The Hierophant is, I'm reading the Hierophant is more of a person of rank who has knowledge, who is just, and being next to the Justice card. Yes, I'm seeing this as things going in your favor. If you have a court case, I'm seeing that going in your favor. And like I said, this isn't for everyone. It only take what resonates and leave the rest. I know everybody says that, and I really hate that, but you'll know if this message is for you. You'll know, because it'll hit different. Trust and believe. Okay, last row. We've got the Seven of Cups. We've got the Devil on the Three of Cups, the Moon, and the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, it looks like, I know it's easy for me to say, but you know what? Just take the high road. Don't fight about it. If they want to be in that devil energy, if they want to keep things from you, there will come a time where they will have their regrets. They will look back and realize what they lost. Okay? Wheel of Fortune, to end on the Wheel of Fortune, I like that card because the Wheel of Fortune always turns. So if you find yourself on the bottom of the wheel right now, just be patient. It's getting ready to turn. To be honest, right now, Mercury retrograde, like I said, she's a bitch. And you really don't want to make any major decisions romantically, financially, friendship, family, whatever. You don't want to make any big monumental decisions during a Mercury retrograde, because if you do, that can change on a dime. So I'm going to close with these are Ocean Oracle cards. The illustrations on these are beautiful, by the way. Let's just get a closing message here. I'll pull two. I'm sorry, I'm not a card jumper. I've got hand issues. So I shuffle until my ancestors say, "That's the one, darling. You can stop now." High tide, embrace transformation and harness the energy of change to fuel your growth. That's all we're here to do. We're all here, like I said, on this floating rock in space, we're all here to grow. We're all here to have an experience, and everybody's experience is not going to be the same. Just embrace the ride and brace your transformations. Right now, a lot of us in the collective, we're going through major, major transformations in our lives. And it's about being patient with yourself, you know, embrace the transformation, harness the energy of change to fuel your growth. Ooh, I like this one. Coral Castle. Live with intention and purpose, aligning your actions with your deepest values and desires. And I think that's a really great way to end this reading, is because honestly, transformation and intention and purpose, aligning your actions with your deepest values and desires. We spoke earlier about our values and standing on our beliefs and standing on our values and standing on our desires. And yes, I think this is wonderful. These are two great outgoing messages to end the reading on. Just keep going, folks. And please remember, this is my only channel. It's Wendy Spiritual Advisor. I do not have a presence on TikTok. If you see what looks like me on TikTok, that's a scammer. That's not me. Also, I do not have a public Facebook or a public Instagram channel currently. That may change. But thank you for joining me. I've really enjoyed bringing you these messages. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful morning, a wonderful evening. Whenever you see this message, please understand, I mentioned Mercury retrograde, but these messages are timeless. Wherever you are in your journey, darling, you're going to get through it. Just don't let the bastards get you down. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, move with intention and purpose, and hold on to your values. Don't let anyone talk you out of your values. I think that is the message that we've got today. So thank you for joining me. I want to thank my new subscribers. I love you guys. I'm really happy to be doing this. This is something that I've been going back and forth with whether or not to do this on a grander scale. I've been reading most of my life for friends, and I've done a couple of I've done one murder investigation, and then I've had a couple of other people ask me to consult on some other investigations. But again, I know in my first message, I have a friend who basically said, why aren't you doing this? And I didn't have a good answer for her. So again, Doc, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I love you all. Have a marvelous day.